Although Jeopardy! Host Ken Jennings is witty and fast, sometimes his dark humor is a little over the line. Recently, some fans think one of his cruel jokes was appalling on air. Ken Jennings is stepping into big shoes with his predecessor, Alex Trebek, having a legendary run on Jeopardy! But Ken has a fast sense of humor that gives him the edge in competing and in his new hosting gig. Undoubtedly, he loves a good practical joke and knows how to keep a straight face. However, his big brain sometimes forgets to filter dark humor while on air. Now fans are questioning why one in particular didn't get an edit. Over the weekend, a Jeopardy! Clip went viral with Ken Jennings showing his 74th day on the show as a competitor in 2004. At the time, Ken was competing and Alex Trebek was the host. Admittedly, Ken has said it is pretty nerve-wracking standing at the podium preparing to buzz in. Additionally, Ken's winning streak was at stake. But the young Ken stood tall while selecting the category Businessman, which landed him the daily double. Conservatively, wagering only $1,000, Alex seems perplexed. Ken says, "I'm not really crazy about the category." Alex curiously asks, "You don't really like businessmen?" Ken starkly replies, "I hate them all." But he doesn't stop there. Going into a cruel sense of humor, he adds, "Come revelation, we're gonna string 'em up." On X, a user posted the clip. The person captions, "My king. Wonder how he's doing." Since posting, the video has had 2 million views and 50,000 likes. Other Jeopardy! Viewers were quick to weigh in on Ken's dark humor. For decades, Jeopardy! Has been a staple of American television, known for its intellectual challenges, revered host Alex Trebek, and the sharp-witted competitors who battle for trivia supremacy. The passing of Trebek in 2020 left an irreplaceable void at the heart of the show, and a quest for a new host that could honor the legacy of one of the most beloved figures in TV history. Eventually, Ken Jennings, a fan favorite and the record holder for the longest winning streak on the show, was named as one of the permanent co-hosts, along with mayim bialik. But while Jennings has been praised for his knowledge and quick thinking, some recent remarks he made on the show have raised eyebrows and even sparked outrage among certain segments of the fan base. Jennings' humor, often characterized by its dry, cutting edge, took a turn that some fans found unexpectedly cruel during a recent episode. The joke in question, delivered in his typical deadpan style, struck a nerve with many viewers who felt it was inappropriate for the family-friendly nature of Jeopardy! As the internet buzzed with shock and debate, the incident became a flashpoint for discussions around comedy, kindness, and whether Jennings' brand of humor was a good fit for the legacy of Jeopardy! The moment that ignited the controversy came when Jennings quipped in response to a contestant's incorrect answer. Known for occasionally ribbing contestants in a lighthearted way, Jennings' comment on this particular occasion was interpreted as mean-spirited by many viewers. What would have been a harmless misstep for a comedian in a different context felt jarring for the millions of loyal Jeopardy! Viewers who tune in to celebrate intelligence and positivity, not ridicule. While the specific details of the comment are open to interpretation, many fans took to social media to voice their concerns. Some felt that Jennings' humor had ventured into territory that felt too cutting, as though he was punching down on the contestant rather than engaging in the kind of playful, supportive banter they had come to expect. Others argued that the nature of the quip wasn't particularly offensive, suggesting that it was in line with Jennings' usual style. Still, for a large number of fans, the incident sparked a broader question. Is this the tone we want from our Jeopardy! Host? In the wake of Trebek's passing, the show is in a period of transition, and the hosts' personalities are now under closer scrutiny. Jennings, as a former contestant himself, was initially viewed as someone who could bridge the gap between the legacy of the show and its new era. But could his sarcastic edge ultimately alienate viewers? One of the things that made Alex Trebek so beloved was his ability to inject humor into the show without ever undermining its core premise, a celebration of knowledge. Trebek's jokes were often self-deprecating, and he never punched down at contestants. Instead, he elevated the players, making them feel as though they were part of something important. Jennings, on the other hand, seems to have a different approach. His jokes are often sarcastic or dry, and while they may appeal to fans who enjoy that style of humor, they don't always land well in the Jeopardy environment. The question that many fans are now asking is whether Jennings' humor is too edgy for a show that has prided itself on a certain level of decorum and respect for its contestants. This incident is part of a larger conversation about what Jeopardy should be in the post-Trebek era. With Ken Jennings and Mayim Bialik sharing hosting duties, the show is clearly in a transitional phase. Both hosts bring different strengths to the table, but they also bring different tones. Bialik, for instance, is seen as more nurturing and kind, while Jennings is seen as more cerebral and competitive. It remains to be seen which style will resonate more with fans in the long term. In the wake of the incident, the Jeopardy fanbase seems divided. Some fans have come to Jennings' defense, arguing that his humor is a refreshing change and that people are overreacting to a harmless joke. They point out that Jeopardy has always had a slightly dry, intellectual edge, and that Jennings is simply adding his own personality to the mix. Others, however, are less forgiving. For many, Jeopardy represents a kind of intellectual sanctuary, a place where smart people are celebrated, and where the host's role is to uplift rather than tear down. These fans feel that Jennings' humor undermines that spirit, and that his style of hosting could alienate the core audience that has made Jeopardy so successful for so long. The controversy surrounding Ken Jennings' humor highlights the delicate balance that any Jeopardy host must strike. The host sets the tone for the show, and in the absence of Alex Trebek, the audience is still grappling with what the future of Jeopardy should look like. Jennings brings a different kind of energy to the show, one that is more competitive and edgy, but that isn't always what viewers are looking for. Ultimately, the reaction to Jennings' joke reflects a larger cultural conversation about humor, kindness, and the role of television hosts in shaping the viewing experience. While some fans appreciate his sharp wit, others long for the gentler touch that Trebek embodied for so many years. As Jeopardy continues to evolve, it will be interesting to see how Jennings navigates these waters, and whether his brand of humor will find a lasting home on the iconic game show.